Hello and welcome to another episode of Ginger Force Apocalypse, the podcast. I'm Britt Rochelle.
I'm Muffin.
Whoop whoop. And an interesting article came out, I think it was 2 weeks ago, but I only saw it in the last week or so, regarding how recent studies come out that older video games are not just better because, us, millennials and whatever, have our nostalgia goggles on and we just want things to be the way that they used to be, but they were actually better for developing minds. And I wanted to get into that because I'm very into psychology. I'm into how, childhood experiences shape not only who we are as people, but how we handle different situations. And I thought that might be an interesting thing to get into. I don't know, what do you, before we get into it, I want to know what your thoughts are, if you have any favorite older games, what your opinion is on the whole nostalgia factor of it all. What does Muffin Sincere think?
The nostalgia factor mainly is, for me, is just like if I've actually had any sort of interaction with it, and would I feel any type of way if I had played it again.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair.
It's very much like I don't know, with the Game Boy games that I've had, like the Dragon Ball Z game. I played that thing a lot. And, I mean, sometimes when I'm playing it, I'll sit here and think, like, oh, I played this part when I was at my grandparents' house. That's nostalgia. But you can't just think of a game and it go, nostalgic. What if I've never played that game,
True.
But that's my take on it.
It just makes me think of, when it comes to nostalgia, it makes me think of, like, games that stand the test of time, so to speak. Like, I know I talk about this a lot, but say Kingdom Hearts. I say I was obsessed with it before I even played it, because back in its heyday, I was not playing the game myself, but I was watching the AMVs people made about it. So I got what I thought was kind of a gist about the relationship between the characters, nowhere near the scope of what it actually is. I was like, okay, this is nice. And so when I finally played it and beat it for the first time last year, I thought, wow, this is something that's like really just fulfilling something that I really wanted as a youngster, something that I wanted to play, but not just that. I had no actual nostalgia for the game itself because I never played it, but there is a certain kind of nostalgia in how the game runs, because I've seen jokes about it, how they'll be like, oh, this is just the gameplay for Kingdom Hearts 1, and it shows a PlayStation controller with the D-pad, but they've erased all the buttons on the right-hand side except for the X button, because that you pretty much button mash your way through it. It's not as intricate, I'll say, as even Kingdom Hearts 2 or Birth by Sleep. But still, even without having nostalgia for it, finishing the game, I ugly cried on stream finishing that game. Because it does such a good job through its cutscenes and through its gameplay of establishing not only a really good story, but you die a lot, especially if you're on... I played on proud mode, but I can only imagine it probably would have doubled the amount of time it took me to complete it if I played on critical mode, which is the hardest difficulty. But through the gameplay and through the cutscenes, they establish this story, they establish the relationships between these characters, and then they really just give you a big old gut punch at the end with the ending cutscene sequence, or I guess it's a cinematic, there's a difference. But the ending cinematic is so emotional and it's so well done. And I can't, like, there was a little bit of the emotion was, oh my god, I've been waiting for so long, I finally played this game, yes, inner child healed, and all that stuff. But even, again, I didn't really have nostalgia for Kingdom Hearts 2 as well, either. And the ending of that, I didn't cry as hard, but I shed a couple tears, I got emotional, and it's just one of those games that really, haven't gotten that response from a video game that's come out more recently. Like, to be fair, I guess I haven't played any games that are meant to elicit that reaction from the modern age. Like, Alien Isolation didn't make me cry. Still haven't beat it yet, but didn't make me cry. Doom Eternal, probably not meant to make you cry. What else have I played from the more modern gaming era? Like Dream Daddy. I felt a little bit of heartbreak and disappointment there, but that was mainly from my poor choices throughout the game coming out with the least desirable ending. So I guess, yeah, that's meant to elicit some reaction. But it's like I say, Fortnite's it's never going to make me cry. And the basis of a good game, modern or retro, whatever, it's not necessarily meant to make you cry. That should not be the basis of a good game. But I think there should be some emotion or reaction elicited. For example, some kind of feeling of satisfaction. I don't like this. It's the reason why I replayed the last mission of Doom Eternal this week, because they do offer, and older games did this to an extent as well. I would argue not near to the extent a lot of modern games do, but they offered, if you lost to a boss enough times, what one of my friends called a cookie, which was, hey, you're dying a lot. Looks like you need some help. Have some Sentinel armor. You won't take as much damage, and you're less likely to die. And I was like, well, I want to see how this game ends, so I guess I'll take it. And it really just left me feeling embarrassed. Like, the game didn't believe in me. So they're like, you're not going to get it without this, so here, take it if you want it. Whereas older games, like, say, I was talking about a little bit last episode, but Duke Nukem does not care about your feelings. They do not care how good you are. They'll even make fun of you for making it. If you choose the easy difficulty, again, it's not labeled as easy. It's labeled as wussy. They are just making fun of you for taking the easy way out because you can't handle Duke Nukem. Might as well just called it, why are you even playing? Animal Crossing's a few aisles down. Pick that up, you frickin' loser.
Yeah.
And that is what, we'll get into the article itself, but that is, I think, what a lot of games do nowadays. They want to see you stream it. They want to see you complete it. They want you to talk about it, or even, again, monetize it. They want you, and I don't follow a lot of Fortnite streamers because I don't feel I need to, but I do follow one streamer who does primarily Fortnite, and he plays with all the new skins, and that's what they want. They want people to show off the gameplay. They want to see you, shooting people down with Kim Kardashian. They don't care how many victory royales you get. Though they do reward you well for getting a victory royale. You get a lot of XP and some, exclusive emotes and stuff like that, but I would argue it doesn't have the challenge rating that older games have. Or even SimCity 2000. This is an interesting one that I've been seeing one of my friends play. I've been hanging out with them, and they've been playing this game a lot. And let me see.
So I can never get into the Sim Cities or any of the Sim games.
Mm-hmm.
Sims itself was mediocre. But, every once in a while, I guess you dabble it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because this one is, I argue, quite the opposite of Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem's a shooter game where you have to go through, defeat enemies. There's some puzzle elements and little secrets and cheats you can do. But SimCity's it's literally called the ultimate city simulator. You are the mayor of a city, you plan it out, and you see what happens. Actually, my friend who's been playing it, he mentioned how he really was upset the other day because he built his city, it was going really well, and something caught fire, and the fire department, which you don't control, you're the mayor, you don't control these things, but the fire department basically stood there and watched the flames as the entire city burnt to the ground. which sucks, but just kind of happens.
Yeah.
And I asked, like, how do you play this game? Like, I see the toolbars, I see the little, sometimes on the scroll, the text scroll at the top of the screen, it'll say, the citizens are demanding schools, so you want to build schools. But you might not have money to build schools, so what do you do there? Or, again, a fire breaks out, fire department's doing jack all about it. Not much to be done about that. The fire department's just not effective, or maybe you didn't build enough fire stations. You don't really know. The game does not explain it to that. It's a thick manual, but it doesn't really, it shows you what everything means, but there's not a whole lot. Oh, here it is. It even says here, you're on your own. Here we go. So it gives you, like, the basis of how the controls work and all that. And the last part before getting into the reference guide, further reference guide, and there's a lot of, like, moving parts to this game. You're on your own. Now it's all up to you. Add more roads and zones. Add police and fire stations. Add schools, or not. If you're not sure what to do next, don't worry, The Sims will start making demands. You know the basics now, but there are a lot more to mastering this game. Play and experiment for a while, then check out the quick reference section. And when you think you're ready for it, try the scenarios. Congratulations, and good luck. And it just kind of shows. There's no how to beat the game. There's really no, that I know of, end goal to this game. Basically, just make money. And it's funny, when I asked him, like, hey, what if it didn't even tell you how to play the game or what you should do? It just basically gave you this manual, and all it said was, good luck. And he explained to me, that is literally what it says, is we don't want to spoil anything for you, so just play the game and figure it out. You got this.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Best of luck to you.
So let's look at this article a bit, which get into more like the psychological aspects and get into a bit more detail. So this was published on Newsweek, December 7th, and it was written by Daniela Gray. Okay, great. That's gonna be a thing. Anyone who grew up in the 90s will probably remember the thrill of racing Rainbow Road in Mario Kart, or the shock of discovering Pokemon Red's hidden secrets without a guidebook. Those games came in chunky cartridge or disc form, ended with credits, and forced players to get better or start over. I do want to interrupt with Duke Nukem. I'm using it. This is going to be my prime example, like the core of my argument, quite frankly, because I played this game for 2 hours. I did not even get past the first stage. And I can't pick up where I left off. I basically have to start over because the save point, you can save the game, but the save point is at the end of each stage. There's no saving in the subway. There's no even saving at the strip club that you start out in. You save when you complete the level. That is your cookie right there. Is you completed the level. Now you don't have to play it again next time you pick it up. You didn't? Well, darn, that sucks to be you.
Right?
Yeah. It's called a challenge. Fast forward to today, kids juggle Fortnite battle passes, spend real money on Roblox skins, and face a constant stream of push notifications urging them not to miss limited time events. Yeah, that is something I've even seen modern Sims gamers, complain about, quite frankly, and I get it. I play The Sims 4 myself, and they've added, I think a lot of the community events they add, there's a lot of stuff that you can do in there now. Like, you can join clubs, you can go to college, there's a lot of mini holidays, you can go to there's literally a gamer con that your sim can attend, which is really good for my sim who's a game streamer. That's literally their career. And here's the thing though, there's so many micro events that are scheduled every other day, and I could be in the middle of a work day. Like say there's some jobs like nursing or the hospital career that you can actually go to work with your sim and diagnose patients and run labs and stuff like that. It's really in depth now. But you will still, even at work, get interrupted with, bam, 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 there's this festival of death occurring. Do you want to come to the festival of death? I know you're at work right now, but maybe you want to leave and go to the Festival of Death. Like, I'm trying to...
Festival of Death is a bit extravagant.
I think it's called Thinning Festival or something. They have their own little names for it. Like, they don't have Christmas. Like, it's essentially Christmas, but they don't call it Christmas. I don't remember what it's called. But you do get a day off work for that one, so that's like a whole actual holiday. But the Thinning Festival, or there's like a kids festival or a sports festival, all those you have to go to different lots to attend. And sometimes the notifications are just too much, and I'm sure there's a way to turn them off or not. Again, it's EA, so it's hard to say, and I haven't looked into it myself. But
just block all notifications.
Yeah, it really is just, honestly. Well, you don't want to do that, because then I'd I didn't go into it because it's really sad, actually. But I downloaded this pregnancy and childbirth mod because I want... No, hear me out. It's really interesting. Because...
No, hear me out, just... Hear me out now.
No, it's still censored. I'm not that big of a weirdo. I'm a weirdo, but I'm not that kind of weirdo. But it just gives you so many more options, because I feel like the in-game, pregnancy thing when you have a kid in The Sims is so... It's just, oh, you're pregnant for 3 days. Now there's a baby. Congrats. Yeah. But this one you can actually, go to ultrasounds, get blood work done. But the sad thing is, it's very in-depth. The shout out to Pandasama for making that mod. But unfortunately, things can actually go wrong as well. Like, with my one Sim's second kid, they went into preterm labor, and the baby was it had to go in the NICU. It was in a little incubator, and you had to, wait in the hospital for it to get better. It was quite the high-stress situation. I was like, well, damn, if you're gonna play The Sims, a life simulator, this is kind of what I'm looking for.
It's kind of ridiculous, to be quite honest.
No, it is ridiculous, but it's my kind of ridiculous. So again, kudos. And there's a bunch of other mods you can put in there, like the Wicked Whims, if you are that kind of weirdo and you just want to watch some inappropriate things from your Sims. There's a way to uncensor it, and it's called the Wicked Whims mod. I've seen religion mods. There's a nanny career mod you can do. Just add all these different facets. So I've seen a lot of memes regarding The Sims 4 players. Like my, what's it called? People say that they could fry eggs on their laptops that's running all their Sims mods because it's taking up so much processing speed.
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous if, you've got that much on there.
Or,
and your thing is cooking.
Or there's another one I've seen, my girl, on her $3,000 gaming setup that she built just to play The Sims, and she's just like, I digress, but that's okay. That's just my little thing on push notifications. If I could just turn off the ones for the holidays, that's not the main ones like New Year's and Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because they do, the thing with the notifications is there's already a calendar you can check that has those events on it. And the years, again, each minute in The Sims has always been a second. So when you say, oh, this is going to take 20 minutes, you're literally just waiting 20 seconds. So the years go by. I've had 2 Christmases this year, just in the amount of times I've played The Sims. The years do not go by this quickly, or that quickly. So you don't need that many push notifications for the freaking Sims, is I guess what I'm getting at. Push notifications would have their place. But what Daniela Gray here is talking about is more so, the push notifications you get on your phone, on your computer. Don't miss Winterfest. Don't miss this Roblox thing. There's new skins. This is leaving the store today. Don't miss out. Just, vying for your attention on top of everything else you're already trying to get done, gaming or otherwise, throughout your day.
I mean, isn't there a lawsuit or something against that now with I think either Fortnite or some sort of EA game?
Maybe. I don't know. Let's look that up.
It's addictive personalities or addictive properties of the games.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I'm gonna see what's going on with that gaming. That's how you spell gaming. That's how you spell addiction. Gaming addiction lawsuit. I think there's a class action one. Yeah, it's from April. It's just the AI thing. As of December 2025, a growing number of lawsuits are being filed against major game companies, alleging that they intentionally designed popular games to be addictive, particularly to minors, and failed to provide adequate warnings about the potential harm. These lawsuits claim that companies like Epic Games, Roblox Corporation, and Microsoft, and others use psychological tactics such as variable reward schedules, loot boxes, microtransactions, and endless progression systems to maximize player engagement and revenue, leading to significant mental, emotional, and physical harm. Mostly, it looks like California and Nevada. I think we talked about this back in we talked about that.
I know we talked about it. It's just more like prevalent now than it was, I guess, back then.
Yeah.
You know.
This is from Soka Loved Law, video game addiction lawsuit. I thought this was a settlement, but this is just about... Oh, this is like a history, yeah. Video game addiction lawsuits have been filed against 2K Games, Activision Blizzard, Epic Games, Microsoft, Roblox, Take-Two, yeah. Sometimes you can call a number to find out if your family may qualify for a video game addiction lawsuit payout.
I qualify. I don't need to call anybody to qualify.
But
I'm just that good.
I know you're just that good. You've been addicted since, since
childbirth.
Since you picked up, you came out the womb holding an Xbox controller, wearing a headset.
What's up, bitches? MLG squad.
GG. The leap between eras, though, isn't just technological, it is psychological. According to two mental health professionals, the shift has fundamentally changed how children's brains develop, process challenges, and engage with reward. We're talking about iPad kids. Because we actually did talk about this in one of my college classes. Because, again, not even talking about games, but we will obviously get back to the main topic, which is the games. But, you can play games on an iPad. And even when I was a kid, I absolutely was one of those kids who's like, does your phone have games on it? Can I play on it? And thankfully I had enough adults in my life tell me, no, go do something else. Like, sometimes they let me play, like, Snake or something. My dad had Snake on his flip phone, but, like, other than that, it was, do it on the computer or mostly go the hell outside. Because I remember my dad actually... Specifically, we'd spent so much time in the den, like the lower living room area, that my dad was like, your freckles are disappearing. Go outside in the sun and play. He was not about that. He's like, you're here for the summer.
Go touch grass.
Literally, he was telling me and my sister, go touch grass. Yeah, there we go. Let's get past that. It's going to have to get cut. Oh, Jesus, that's going to have to get cut too. God, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. I'm trying to make this a little as easy on my editor. There we go. I'm trying, man. It's really annoying having to... but it does make sense. I don't disagree with why. It's just trying to talk about this topic without the article having, like, a million pictures of kids on it. I'm like, come on, I just want to talk about it. I don't need to show it. Anyway, so Veronica Lichtenstein, a licensed mental health counselor and former teacher, remembers the deep satisfaction of beating a 90s game. A real victory, as she put it. You fought 3 levels, memorized patterns, and finally saw the ending, Lichtenstein told Newsweek. It felt like you accomplished something. Your brain gave you the solid, lasting dose of satisfaction, like finishing a tough project. Like getting past the final fight in, what was it? Getting past the Roxas fight in Kingdom Hearts 2. That shit took me weeks. Or the Ericus fight, even. That's not even a 90s game. That Birth by Sleep came out when? Hearts by Sleep. Which actually, it was originally released for the PSP. I'm playing the remastered 1.5 Final Mix version on PlayStation, but this came out in 2010. Like, even as recently as 2010, Birth by Sleep. The Ericus fight? It's pretty unforgiving, and it is easy to get, well, not easy, but he does have attack patterns that you can kind of measure and, and learn and react to, but he still learns, especially, I think there's an earlier not Ventus. I was talking, there's an earlier boss in the Terra storyline where you get punished if you heal at a certain time. They're like, oh, you're healing? That means you're open. Whack! Like... So, and even, again, this is going to be the core part of my argument. Duke Nukem. When I say it took me 2 hours and I didn't even get past the first stage, that was 2 hours of figuring out, for one, how to aim. It took me reading the manual to realize if you're aiming vaguely in the general direction, you don't have to precise aim, but you can precise aim. But generally, as I personally learned, it didn't say this in the manual. Well, here, let me rephrase. What it said in the manual is if you're pointing in the general right direction, Duke Nukem will there is auto aim. You can turn it off for an extra challenge, but there is an auto aim. If you're aiming in the general correct direction, Duke Nukem can usually mow them down. So figuring out that, again, I had to pause and look at the manual, which are basically non-existent in games nowadays. And if they exist, they're like 4 pages, and it's really annoying. It's almost like they don't care enough about the game to even put in flavor text, or what the game's, like, they're like, this is what the game's about, here's how to play it. There you go.
Yeah.
Or hell, even at the back of this one, there's even, I tried to call it, there was no answer because it doesn't exist anymore. But back in the back of it, you can get help playing the game by calling a helpline. There was straight up a PlayStation helpline that you could write to or call to figure out what's going on in this game. Because it's still early internet, there weren't like walkthroughs or anything like that to the extent that there are now. But yeah, so the 2 hours of me playing Duke Nukem was literally me inching my way through the levels, figuring out how to interact with stuff. Once I got, say, the subway security key, I thought I had to choose it from my inventory, and that didn't work. So I was sitting there for 5 minutes watching Duke Nukem go like, beep, 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 with nothing happening, because what I was actually supposed to do was walk up to it and press X, because there was no prompt for me. There was no floating X above the security pass thing for me to learn, oh, you walk up and press X. That's just something you have to figure out on your own. Does not spell that out even in the manual. So again, the first 2 hours of me playing that game, it's like a perfect tutorial because it doesn't walk me through how to play it. It basically throws me in the shit and sees if I can swim. And even finding secret areas and stuff just requires exploration. And by the end of that 2 hours, I did progress in the level. I just didn't learn fast enough to fix it. And that's what these older games force you to do, is learn and problem solve. It's not like in modern games, even that I like to play. Even Doom Eternal kind of does that. Something that actually annoyed me about the final boss fight when I was fighting the Icon of Sin is at the beginning, it even tells me, shred down each portion of the armor, or in each or even in the second stage, it says, shred down each body part to beat the boss. And if it only came up at the beginning, I would be like, okay, that's a bit of again, that's kind of a cookie I didn't ask for, but thanks, I like that I know how to beat the boss now. Even though, it was spelled out for me, it did not, spelled out for me. The game did not let me figure it out on my own. It told me straight up how to do it. But not only that, but I was not on the hardest difficulty. I don't know if these come up on the hardest difficulties, but I was on the Hurt Me Plenty difficulty level. I was on the difficulty level. Mm. But if I was running around trying to get more charges for my Crucible, or more, shredding down imps for armor or health or whatever, every now and again, if the game felt I was taking too long, the little reminder, hint, shred down its body parts to defeat it. It's like, I knew that already. Why are you disrespecting my intelligence as a gamer? And again, it's still...
Why are you telling me? I already know the thing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need a reminder. Again, I don't know. I didn't look, I guess, but I don't know if there's a way to turn those reminders off. But the fact it's a default, again, it's like what we applauded Arc Raiders for. Like, they don't give a health bar for their bosses. They're just like, it shows you. There's animations.
It's there.
It's there. You just have to look at it and study it, which, modern games just don't even let you do. Even as amazing as a game as Doom Eternal was, that one, it kind of, again, even offering me the Sentinel armor, I'm like, it kind of soured it for me a little bit. I didn't get that with Doom 2016. You didn't get handheld through stuff like that. It gave you some hints, like how to defeat certain demons, but Doom Eternal really just held your hand through the depths of hell, and that's not the point of Doom.
Exactly. You kind of have to figure it out for yourself at some point.
Exactly, and that's what a lot of games just don't do like they used to. So that's where this argument is being, presented here, that it's not just nostalgia. Games legitimately just were better, not only in execution, but for the gamers back in the day. Like I said, I'll repeat, you fought through levels, memorized patterns, and finally saw the ending, Liechtenstein told Newsweek. It felt like you accomplished something. Your brain gave you this solid, lasting dose of satisfaction, like finishing a tough project. Many modern games, she explained, flip that formula entirely. What looks free is often bait for microtransactions. $5 for a skin or $10 to shorten grind time, for example. They do that in Fortnite. It's
given me Destiny too.
Yeah.
It's like $1 a level, and if you get to 100 levels on the season pass, you get all the cosmetics, you get all the special gun skins and stuff like that. But most of it isn't pay to win.
Imagine if they did that in World of Warcraft. You could just literally beat the Lich King in a day, because you could choose you don't have to hunt for gear anymore. You can just buy it from the shop. You don't have to grind, killing boars for XP.
Yeah.
You can just skip to the end. And again, even in Fortnite, again, there's not really, so far as I can tell, an end goal to Fortnite, except I guess the 0 hour event I missed, so I'm not speaking with the fullest experience or knowledge of it. But so far as I can tell, getting to the end of the battle pass is just unlocking all the skins and the weapons, cosmetics and the jam tracks and all that stuff. Even some emotes. But you can just buy your way through that. You can buy levels. You don't have to play a million rounds of Fortnite, Battle Blitz Royale or whatever. You don't have to play a million rounds of Zero Build. You can just pay for it. Throw money at it. These systems are intentionally calibrated to create mild discomfort, just enough that spending money feels like the natural solution. Many games monitor every player action, feeding data back into algorithms that trigger well-timed nudges and special offers designed to keep kids from quitting. All of this creates a perfect loop for addiction. There's no real end, so you never get closure. And my incentive to beat Duke Nukem is not the fact, they don't, here's the thing with Duke Nukem. The game does not care if you play it, but you will feel, again, the thing that makes you feel the dissatisfaction from not beating the game is the fact that, I would argue, the game doesn't care. I guess you're just too much of a wuss to play or beat Duke Nukem. Sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. Whereas this one, the games they design the games themselves, and I am personifying them a lot, which, again, that's my prerogative, but they're literally designing the games to be, no, don't go away. All you have to do is pay $10. What's $10? You can pay $10 to keep playing this game, to keep up with, your betters. You can just pay for it. Whereas, again, these games are even, I haven't played Nightmare Creatures yet, but I've got a copy of Nightmare Creatures over here. It's well, I guess you're just not tough enough to beat the Nightmare Creatures. Or if you play Twisted Metal, guess you're just not good enough of a racer, and that's supposed to challenge you to be like, yes, I am good enough, and then you play for hours and hours and hours, and you get good enough, and you earn it. This is a good description of it. She described it as junk food dopamine, quick hits that vanish almost immediately, training kids to crave constant stimulation, rather than the slow, steady satisfaction that's familiar to 90s kids. Liechtenstein is also concerned about the lack of critical thinking skills needed for today's video games. Back in the 90s, getting stuck meant digging through a guidebook. I already lost it. Sorry, here it is. Digging through a guidebook, calling a friend, or failing repeatedly until something clicked. Yeah, even I had someone in the chat walk me through, like, how to open a secret level, which, again, I don't think he was actually trying to. He was trying to get me to be able to open... Get to the next, that's what it was. I wasn't... Again, like I said, I watched Duke Nukem do this a million times with his pass, because I was selecting from the inventory, and it was the security key to get into the subway, but I still couldn't get into the subway, and he said, oh, I think there's a button behind the desk that you press in the strip club. So I go back to the strip club, I press the button, and it does not open the subway, but it does open a secret area, which was really cool because it's got, actually, I'll get to that in a minute. I was like, oh, cool, secret area. Now I can get on stage and poke at the strippers. If you walk up to a stripper in that game, and it doesn't teach you to do this. Again, it's one of those curiosity things. When I walked up to that button behind the desk and had X, I was like, oh, it clicked. I have to walk up to the button in the subway and press X. Go figure, what's it called? Go figure, the subway opens, and then, again, the process of learning, cognitive development, I figure, what else can I walk up to and press X? And what will it do? So then I go back to the secret area in the club, and there's a closet in there, and the closet opens, and there's Atomic Health, which, if you're already at 100, Atomic Health will bring you past 100. Which, if you do with any other health pack, it'll just say your health is full. Which is, again, a really, really good find. And then, so I walk up to the strippers, and I press X, and they're just kind of have one animation that they do. They're on the pole, they just kind of wiggle around. Not really, whatever. But then if you walk up to them and press X, Duke Nukem will say something like, let's do this. And the strippers will get up on the pole and, like, do a backbend. They'll do a special trick. If you walk up to a phone booth, it'll mostly just have the beep, 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 the disconnect line. But apparently, if you go up to the correct phone booth in one of the levels, the same developers who made Duke Nukem also made Tomb Raider, so there's, like, a special message from Lara Croft. Which, again, you just have to go around and explore and find that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tell you any of that. There is no text that pops up in the game that says, hint, try playing with the phone booths. Hint, try tickling the strippers. Like, it doesn't tell you to do any of that. So, again, that's to get into this section here. Yeah, Lichtenstein is also concerned about the lack of critical thinking skills needed for today's video games. Back in the 90s, getting stuck meant digging through a guidebook, calling a friend, okay, we already said that. Today, if people get stuck on a game, all it takes is a quick Google search, and they'll have the answer on how to beat that part. I bet I could even find a walkthrough nowadays on Duke Nukem. I just refuse to use it. Because, again, it's called, pride in oneself of being able to figure it out. And if I can't figure it out, thankfully I do have, this that was recommended to me by a friend who has played this game, so I just gotta call them up and go, I can't do this, what do I do? Or I'm having so much trouble with this. But nowadays, there's not even that connection amongst gamers. It's you just, doot, doot, doot. Oh, that's how you do it. Thanks. Looks like her son has shared
forums and whatever else like that.
Yeah, I think IGN even has a whole walkthrough section on their website. Or I found one on YouTube. I used, I think a walkthrough. Yeah, not my proudest gamer moments, but I just wanted to see what would happen, quite frankly, and it's not an excuse, but I found all the Dalmatians in Kingdom Hearts 1 with a walkthrough, and I had my friend tell me, that's not really how you're supposed to do it, and I was like, I know. And there would have been a greater satisfaction if I would have just done it myself. Just walked around all the different levels and parkoured and glided and all that stuff. Her son shared examples. Pokemon Red and Green from 1996 offered one optional tutorial before throwing players into the wild. Pokemon Sun and Moon from 2016 required players to march through tutorial-heavy gameplay for the first quarter of the game. Melissa Gallagher, a licensed clinical social worker and executive director of Victory Bay, sees a contrast between 90s games versus today's through a different lens. Oops. Sorry, I hit the wrong button there. Let me just fix that. Okay, we're back. Games from the 90s offered bounded entertainment experiences, clear beginnings and endings, natural stopping points, and a design that encouraged social interaction. Kids would play with friends in person, then step away to run around, rest, or move on to another activity. With no social media pressure, no endless scroll, and no performance ranking systems, the experience reinforced healthy boundaries and confidence, not comparison or competition. Today's games, Gallagher said, deliberately erode those boundaries. Everything's a game or a task, and the need for ranking gives them an inferiority complex, she told Newsweek. This generates pressure, erratic sleep patterns, and makes too much noise on their minds. Gallagher also pointed out that the design philosophy of the 90s centered on fun and completion, while the 21st century increasingly centers on retention and monetization. Understanding this distinction, she said, is essential for families trying to make informed choices. Lichtenstein shared the bottom line. 90s games are a challenge for building your skills. Today's games are often a test for your psychological resistance. A great deal are built to attract, exploit, and addict. And I thought that was a really... people have been, and even we have been saying for the better part of, a year or two now since we've started doing it's been 2 years, I think, we've been doing this podcast. And... Yeah. We've been saying for years, they just don't make them like they used to. And clearly, and this is a really just nice article stating clearly and concisely, again, I have my own empirical evidence, and they had their own empirical evidence. They literally don't make them like they used to because, and never used to, the monetization aspect was, are people going to buy our game? That's it. And to get people to buy their game, they had to be cool, fun, and challenging, and of course attractive to their audience, because, again, using this, I've been doing this a lot, but I'm going to say it, not a lot of women, I will say, were likely playing Duke Nukem. But it was not made for women. So, there were games made for women. It's called Animal Crossing. And maybe that's sexist of me to say. I'm sorry, it's the whole, we've referenced it before, but the whole, the game appeals to the male fantasy. Yeah, the hell it does. Come on, who didn't want to be Duke Nukem? And even if you were, a gamer girl who was into this game, to play, so to speak, with the big boys or the guys that the game was made for, you had to be good at the game, or as the game was making fun of you for, you were a wussy.
Yeah.
That is where, to get into it a little bit, but I don't want to get into it too much, that is where I think a lot of feminism has gone wrong, is instead of being challenged to compete with the men, they have tried, a lot of it has come about, demasculinizing the men themselves. So instead of reaching up to their level, they've attempted to drop men down to their level, which is never the point. But, again, that's just kind of getting into...
Women could just also get good, but that's just me.
No, that's literally what I'm saying. We're in agreement. So the point was supposed to be, again, the whole point, say even back to the suffragettes, was supposed to be, we are on equal footing with men. We deserve the right to vote. And the whole World War II, we can do it. We can take the jobs of the men. We're tough enough. We can go off to war. We'll hold down the fort at home. And that's just not what's going on. And it has been going on for the better part of, God, I want to say at least a decade, if not two, is a lot of women, I will say, and again, this kind of goes into the psychological stuff, what's harming a lot of people, men and women, is the whole, there's a new attitude nowadays in gaming and outside of gaming that's, why do you have to challenge me? You're not worthy of challenging me. I have this ineffable essence. I have this magical quality that just makes me better, and I don't have to try. And that's where gaming is going wrong. Again, you don't have to play... When you beat Doom Eternal, you don't have to do it by figuring things out. It will tell you how to beat every demon, how to do this. It does through every... Up until and including the last boss, it will tell you how to beat it. And that never would have happened. And it didn't even happen in Doom 2016. Never would have happened in any earlier iteration of Doom, which does make me concerned for Doom the Dark Ages. Even though I do still want to play it, but I still enjoyed my time playing Doom Eternal. I will say that. Very thoroughly enjoyed my time playing it. Great game. But it does not leave me with the satisfaction that I felt when I played Doom 2016. And that's my little soapbox there. I don't know, but what do y'all think at home? Our game, am I being too harsh, particularly on modern games, and even, going a little bit into the whole, feminism aspect of it? So that I can't help myself. I am a female. I just went through a whole, sociology class about social movements. And, this topic just really fascinates me, and I really love it. But I want to know what y'all think about this whole situation with the current state of gaming. And let us know on all of our socials. We're on TikTok, Twitter. Even if you want to flame me for saying that, maybe women should just get good. God forbid I argue with, or I agree with a man's opinion on women. Let me know on all our socials, Linktree / Exactly. Just let us know on our socials, Linktree / Muffin Sincere. That's Muffin stuff. He has all the GFAP stuff on there, but we do have GFAP socials, Linktree / GFA Entertainment is what I'm trying to get to. Or, again, you can flame me personally on my socials. I'm everywhere that social media can be found at BritRochelle.com or BritRochelle.card.co.
And find me at Linktree / Muffin Sincere, where we do all the hardcore gaming.
Mm-hmm. You want to watch him carry me through. Yep. I'm getting better. I improved at Halo eventually. I mean, I had to because I got through Halo CE by myself. Took me forever, but I did it. I'm getting better, but Muffin, our current game we're playing is RV There Yet on Thursdays at 7, and he is pretty much carrying through this road trip because little old me never learned to drive a stick.
But it's okay.
It is okay, because I know what I'm good at, and it's platformers and shooters. And cozy games, as they've been called. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed watching and or listening to Ginger Force Apocalypse, the podcast. And we hope you keep fapping, folks.